So first is how many of you facing the same issue where you have to copy your data from one place to another place? Like a very simple example is you're getting a data from any kind of a document like in Excel or maybe in PDF. You might need to copy the data to another platforms, or you have some workflow like RFI submittals. You need to generate a report. You need to copy the reports to one place to another place. Now, in the market, there's always certain integrations happen. For example, between Outlook and ACC, they may have a certain API for you to transfer the information or communications through the API and so on. The most basic one might be using a CSV data. From one platform, you export it out into a CSV format, and then you use the data and then convert it into a different or input it into a different platform, right? Give example. There might be a customization platform out there that using a point-to-point integration. That means that the vendor might help you to do integrations into a certain platform so that your data can flow. Definitely, you may require a customization on that one. Seems to go with the middleware. The most very basic one, which is like CSV and copy and paste. Now, if you look at the industry, especially in our built environment industry, right? This thing is very common because more and more people are using different kind of software to meet the IDD requirement. That is why BCA back in May 22nd, they launched what they call as a BCA SMP. So SMP is equivalent, is the meaning of site management platforms. The whole objective for the BCA is to help the industry to have a more seamless workflow and also the data flow from one point to another point, right? Now, and if anyone came across with the yesterday presentation by IMDA, they also developed a platform what they call as a SGBuildex. So the SGBuildex, it acts as a middleware to connect all your platform data or the informations and flow it to the regulator, which is the BCA and HDB right now. Later I'll share with you what we have done with the SGBuildex together. Now, in the market, we always talk about all this data transfer is a ETL tool or the ELT tools. And there's a lot of argument since very back then is where that some people may like ETL, some people saying that ELT is a better software. Both approach is moving data from one place to another place. But there's a pro and cons to that. ETL, there's always a rigid because they always have a point-to-point connections to it. ELT, the data is too raw because whenever it goes into the middleware, it's just a data without any information, and they load it into the endpoint. That's where the endpoint will churn out the data or transform the data. So it's a bit too raw in the data. That's why our system DataForge it comes in. DataForge is a combination of ETL and ELT, but we incorporate the automation and intelligence on top of that. Later, I'll explain to you what is what we call by the agentic AI and what we have done so far. Now, I created a very simple workflow for those who don't really understand how it works. This diagram it may trigger how you guys doing work from day to day. Now, give example, you might be using a multiple software from your for your projects and so on. You might be using ACC for your CDE. You might be using Excel, Outlook. You might be using OpenSpace for your progress monitoring. Some you might have your own Power BI in the company. But Microsoft Office, I think everyone here is using, regardless Excel, Words, PowerPoint, and so on. And once WhatsApp is a key thing, right? And I think every one of you who is working on the project basis, minimum you have 4 or 5 different WhatsApp group chat. So you can see all the information is scattered around. Now, what happened here is sometimes whenever you need to transfer a data or to integrate a data, you may need the API integration. Give a very simple example is I want my ACC information of my RFI submittals to go into the Power BI. We need the API integration. We need the data transfer. The challenge to that is it may require coding. It might require some script for us to build the connections through. So if you have no technical background, there's some things that is almost impossible for you to do that, right? Now, I use the same software, same workflow into this one. I might be using the same thing, ACC, Office, WhatsApp, DeFi render, Outlook, and so on. And this is how DataForge it works. So basically what happened here is all you need to do is you just need to build a one-time integration to your DataForge. Now, in the DataForge itself that we don't require coding, basically it's a drag and drop. If anyone ever use Revit here, a Dynamo, you know the Dynamo, you don't require script, but it's more by box, you build a connection. So basically DataForge is using a very similar concept, but it's more to your data. So you can imagine that with all this kind of software connected to DataForge, I can just drag and drop to connect with each other to whichever platform that I want. For example, my Office, I want my data from the Excel connect back to my ACC, connect back to my Outlook. I will be able to do that with a drag and drop. And this is scalability. You can configure, you can change it anytime you want. And the most important thing is you don't need to have a technical knowledge. Now, the most basic one is where that a lot of the industry right now, especially on the project level and also at the corporation level, they want to look at the overall dashboard to look at all the overall data. One thing over here is the most basic one is people might be using a Power BI. Previously, if you want to have all these informations into Power BI, it's going to require tons a lot of works for you to connect to Power BI. But now with this kind of DataForge connection, basically I can just drag and drop and reconfigure the dashboard how it looks like, and the data will flow it automatically. Not only Power BI, but also if your company or organization have your own dashboard, your own platform, as long as they are open up to build and to allow the integration, basically DataForge can support that one as well. Now, the other thing here is one thing that I want to highlight over here also is currently you have all the information scattered around. So you might be using a lot of effort to put it into the Power BI, but then your dashboard is pretty much fixed. So no matter how it's being configured, the data is always fixed in that kind of manner. If you look at the management level, or maybe at the project director or the project manager level, what is the most common thing that you will ask the team? What is my project status? How my project is going on? Is there any delay? Is anything? And the team, what they need to do is they always need to extract out the information. They need to do their own analysis. They need to figure out what is going on before give you a report, right? Now, with the AI technology nowadays, in fact, we did a partner with Google and some other tech vendor as well. We built our what we call as an AI agent on top of that. So you can imagine like how you're using a ChatGPT nowadays. You want them to, you prompt them something, they give you a report. Instead of they're getting the database, they're pulling the information from your database in the DataForge. That means that they're getting the information from your open space, ACC, Office, WhatsApp, any kind of information that go through the DataForge. So basically what happened here is we will pull out the information, we're using a natural language. So you don't need to have a technical language, but instead you just give a very simple prompt saying that what happened to my project A, project B? Can you give me a summary and what is your prediction for the next few days and so on? Now, this one is a bit technical. Basically, just to give you an idea how we build our AI agent layer. It can be anywhere. We can even embed it into your Power BI so that you can prompt it to use it. So I did a couple of screenshots to show how our AI agent works. So give example saying that, hey, good morning, Casey. Which project do you want to know about? So give example saying that I want to know about my Lincoln site. What is going on? And they will say that, okay, your Lincoln site is flagged as a high risk and projected there will be a 47 days delay. So all this kind of prediction is based on your information from your WhatsApp, from your Outlook, from your Microsoft Words, from your Microsoft project, from your progress monitoring RFI submittal. So they do have those kind of intelligence to analyze and give you a better insight. And they may prompt you and asking you what you want to do next. Do you want to see where is the high risk, where is the potential delay and so on. So basically that's how we build the system itself. Now, The other thing is, previously I did mention about the agentic AI method. Now, our agentic AI method are still in the R&D stage together with the Google. But relatively, what we are doing here is currently all the integration are very technical. And if something breaks, then the whole system will be down. So basically, what the agentic AI works is where that they do have the self-healings. That means that they do have an intelligence to check if there's something broke down and the data doesn't go through. So basically, the system will know how to fix it and how to reconfigure the system, the API or the coding itself. So we have done a couple of R&D, we have done a couple of pilot, and we are working on this part as well. Now, I'll give you a couple of examples. Some of the pilot that we are doing on in Singapore specifically. This is with one of the major developer in Singapore. I haven't gotten their approval to use their name, so I just call it as a major developer. So basically, one of the issue with what they have is they have the ETS tool. They do have their safety report, and their safety reports come in three different sources: their project manager, their safety consultant, and also from their third party. So basically what happened here is three different parties will give them different kind of a source: PDF, PowerPoint, and also there's one safety platform. What the safety manager need to do at office is where that they have to gather all this info and they have to copy and paste manually back into one big Excel. And from there, they churn out the reports to see where is the risk and so on. There's still a lot of issue what is going on in this developer where it's a very, very manual process. Like for example, their ETS. The ETS only gather data but didn't give them the analysis and also the prediction and so on. So basically what we are doing with this developer is they did a small investment into our DataForge system. So we customize it for them and we build the integration. So you can imagine from all this manual work, copy and paste from the Excel, from the PDF, go into the another Excel again, we automate the whole process for them. So you can imagine the work we done for the whole entire week, you can reduce it within a day. And instead of you doing all the manual paperwork, right now you do a validation on the works and so on. And they do have a very specific requirement. They want their AI agent to be in the Microsoft. That's why we are using the Copilot on this one. The other one is what we built with the SG BuildX, as I mentioned earlier on by the IMDA. So for those who are contractor, you get the concrete cube test report from the lab. Normally you get it in the PDF. And what your guys need to do is you copy all the results into your Excel and put in your own information and submit to BCA. So this kind of process, it will have two issues. One is very manual and it's very prone to the error. Now, some of the lab tests over there is saying that they don't have the API to build the integration with the SG BuildX, and they came to us and said that how we can help. So what we've done here is we do the automated process. For the lab who generate the reports, we have a repository for them to upload into our system. And our DataForge will transform the data and load it back into the Autodesk ACC, for example. And instead of for you to key manually, all the reports will be churned out in the ACC forms. And you just need to key in your data, submit, sign it, and submit to BCA. And the submission also is automatically done by the DataForge as well. As long as you sign and close the form, everything will be done at the backend automatically. So same to go with the progress report as well. So what we did here is the contractor just need to fill up digitally progress in the ACC and some other platform. And the moment that you click submit or you click on the close for the form, the DataForge will pull the information automatically and help you to submit to BCA. So we have done that with WeHer, and next week we're going to extend it to United Tech and CapitaLand project as well on this one. All right. So for those who are keen to know more about DataForge, our booth is just around here, or you can just reach out to me after this session. All right. Thank you, everyone.